Hey, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be. It's an awesome day to be in real estate. So, thank you for joining me. My name is Jason Ferrier. This channel is Ohio Real Estate. And today we're going over our weekly Redfin update. And I am a real estate investor and agent, realtor, however you want to say it, here in Central Ohio. I primarily focus on small town investing. So, from an investment standpoint, I like uh, duplexes, triplexes, quads. I do own some single family houses. And then, in addition to that, I'm obviously a real estate agent or realtor and help people buy and sell properties all the time here in Central Ohio. So, if you're looking for an agent in Central Ohio, give me a shout. All right. So, dogs are barking upstairs. You may hear that. If you do, that's okay. That happens on lives. Um, all right, so let's go ahead and dive into the Redfin update because that's why you're here. Um, so first, what we'll do is go over the national update. We'll look at the national data from their weekly update. Then we'll do Central Ohio because I'm in Ohio. And lastly, we'll take comments, questions, and if you have a market you want me to look at during these lives, just put it in the comments below, and I'm happy to take a look at that data for you, and we can go through it together. And by the way, you can go through any of this Redfin data whenever you want to on their site. You can download their data even and slice and dice it yourself if you'd like to. But let's dive right into the national update. So something that is just it's unreal how this is working right now, but the prices don't seem, they don't seem to want to play nice. They're not playing fair. Um, My dogs are going insane. I think there's a UPS guy here or something. Sorry, guys. All right. So home prices are not playing fair. They're not playing nice. They are now higher than they ever have been. So the median price in the country for home prices for existing houses is now past $384,000. But nevertheless, the title of the Redfin update is Housing Market Update, Record High Monthly Payments, Chill Spring Selling Season, but declining rates could boost activity. All right, rates are declining. That's a good thing. Now they're all the way down to 7.2%. I guess that's better than 7.5 or 8%, but it's still not fantastic. And so what I'll do is read a little bit of the article, and then we'll dive into the data. High home prices and rates sent home sellers and buyers to the sidelines in April and the start of May. But last week's encouraging economic news drove mortgage rates down a bit, which could bring back prospective sellers and house hunters. And I should have said this at the beginning, dogs distracted me. Comment below. I'd love to know what's happening in your market regarding prices, activity. If you're in the business, if you're an agent or if you're an investor, I'd just like to know what you're seeing. Got some really great comments last week on the update. So the more data you can share, the better. The median US monthly housing payment hit an all-time high of $2,894 during the 4 weeks ending May 5th, up 14% from a year earlier, and home prices rose 4.5% to their own record high. The supply of homes for sale lost momentum with prospective sellers jittery about high rates. New listings rose 9% year over year, the smallest increase in 3 months, with the exception of 4 weeks ending March 31st, when it was small. There was a small decline due to Easter. There were fewer new listings during the 4 week period ending May 5th than any comparable period on record except 2020 and 2023. Many would-be sellers backed off when rates rose throughout April, opting to stay put to hold off their own low mortgage rate. That statement there is really important. This last statement, many would-be sellers backed off when rates rose throughout April, opting to stay put to hold on to their low mortgage rate. Pay attention to that because I hear a lot of people say that when rates drop, we'll get flooded with inventory. but 70%, I think the stat is 70% of sellers rebuy. Um, so a lot of those homes that are hitting the market are going to be repurchased by somebody. In other words, the sellers that are selling their house, they're not saying, well, rates are too low right now. I'm sorry, rates are too high for me to sell. It's not that they can't afford to sell, it's that they can't afford to buy the next place. That's the problem. So the way I look at it is, and I know this for a fact because I'm helping people buy and sell homes right now, and many of them are waiting, as rates come down, or if they do dip a little bit, they will put their house on the market so they can sell it, and then the rates a little lower, maybe, so now they can afford to buy the next house. And a lot of them are downsizing. Like I have a few clients that sold out of 600, $700,000 houses and then moved into 290, 350,000, $400,000 houses. And so as that happens, um, they're going to be competing for lower priced inventory sometimes. Sometimes they're going to move up into higher priced inventory, but sometimes lower price. The point is that low rates may not bring a flood of inventory. It may just bring more competition to the market, which we don't want, right? We want a more normal housing market. All right. Home sales fell due to high rates and low supply. Pending sales dropped 3% from a year earlier, the biggest decline in 2 months. There are also signs that competition for homes is slowing during a period of time when it typically speeds up. 30% of homes sold above asking price, flat from a week earlier and down 32% a year earlier, and more than 50% 2 years earlier. And 6.2% of home sellers dropped their asking price, the highest since November, and up 4.3% from a year ago. But there is one signal that demand is starting to pick up. Mortgage purchase applications increased 2% week over week. Well, I mean, as you go into this spring selling, buying season, whatever you want to call it, 2% increase, you would expect an increase in mortgage applications. So I don't know if that's worth celebrating necessarily. And it's not like it went up like 10%, 2% week over week. So is that a lot? I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's a huge deal. But less people are looking for homes right now because it's prices are expensive and rates are high. So it's no surprise the demand is lower than it usually is. Recent economic news brought rates down from their peak. Encouraging economic news published daily average mortgage rates down from a 5-month high of 7.5% on April 30th to about 7.2% at the end of last week and into this week, bringing buyers a what I don't even know what this word is. Never seen this before. Something of relief. Huh. How embarrassing. The Fed held interest rates steady, kept open the possibility of a rate cut later this year at their May 1st meeting, and last Friday's soft jobs report was another step in the right direction, I guess. The market is a mixed bag with high mortgage rates causing some listings to sit longer than I would expect in the springtime and high prices hold steady, said David Palmer, a Redfin agent in Seattle. Sellers can rest assured that there are plenty of motivated buyers who are ready to jump on the market now. They finally understand that rates aren't going to plummet anytime soon. Those buyers are the people who are moving because they need to. They're relocating for a new job, going through a divorce, or growing their family. So even though some of my listings are taking longer to sell than they would in a typical spring market, they are selling eventually. Okay, so some agents acknowledging, yeah, it's taking longer to sell properties. Comment below. I'd love to know, in your market, is it taking longer to sell properties? Or is it something like, you're still seeing stuff fly off the shelf? Generally speaking, and this is generally what I hear from people across the country and what I'm seeing locally, especially here in Columbus, is homes that are priced right in good areas, um, and that are dialed in with the property. So in other words, like, you don't walk into a home that says move in ready, but the counters are all tore up or the foundation's jacked up. It's more like those houses are taking longer to sell. The homes that are selling quickly, they're nice. They don't have to be amazing, but they have to be, major problems are not there. So they're free of major issues. I'm seeing those sell quickly still with multiple offers. I mean, I'm losing offers all the time with clients and they're bidding, over asking, multiple offers are coming in, escalation clauses, no inspection, no appraisal, cash, a lot of cash sales. So, but those are for homes that are dialed in. Homes that are not dialed in are taking longer to sell. You're not seeing the we'll buy anything, anytime, anywhere for any price type attitude we saw a couple years ago. At least I'm not. All right, leading indicators. Daily average fixed mortgage rate, 7.2%, down from 7.52% 2 weeks ago. Up from 6.5% year over year change. Yep, rates are higher. Mortgage purchase applications increased 2% from a week earlier, but down 17% from a year earlier. Redfin homebuyer demand index down 6% from a month earlier, down 12% year over year. So it's actually down from a month earlier, even though we're in spring home buying season. You would think that would increase, but it's not. Touring activity up 32% from the start of the year as of May 7th. It's a weird stat. It's weird how they capture that stat. At this time last year, it was up 27% from the start of the year. So that's up 5% year over year. Maybe I'm missing something. I always say that on this video, but it's always a strange little stat. Google searches for home essentially unchanged from a month earlier, down 18% year over year. All right. So we know demand is stagnant. No doubt about it. I wouldn't say it's crushed. I don't think demand's crushed, because if demand was crushed, you would see active listings and months of supply completely skyrocketing. But we're not seeing that. So I don't think demand is crushed, but it's definitely subdued. And it's probably crushed in certain metros, in certain subdivisions. Real estate's all about local stats and locality, but it's I don't know that I call it crushed. Median sale price. Ridiculous, right? 384,721. All-time high. Look at this. There's like all-time high, all-time high, all-time high. Median asking price, 419,519. 6.5% up year over year. All-time high median asking price. Median asking price, not medium. Median monthly mortgage payment, 2,894. Up 14%. All-time high. So median sale price, all-time high. Median asking price, all-time high. Median monthly mortgage payment, all-time high. All-time high, all-time high, all-time high. Pending sales, 90,542. Down 3%. So this number I'm seeing in my market, we're actually up year over year in pending sales. But tied with the two previous 4-week periods for the biggest decline in 2 months. Tied with two previous 4-week periods for the biggest decline in 2 months. Okay, so it's a big decline, I guess, year over year. New listings, smallest increase since 4 weeks ending February 11th, with the exception of 6.6% increase during the 4 weeks ending March 31st. That uptick was artificially small because of the Easter holiday. 102,449 new listings. So how I look at that is we have new listings 102,000, pending sales 90,000. Conceivably, because they're not putting in solds here, that's a difference of 12,000 units approximately, right? Maybe 13,000, no, 12,000 units. So 12,000 units is added to the market at that point, right? That's how I look at it. Like those are the houses that, the actual inventory we added because we have 90,000 coming off. Active listings, 877,829, a 13% increase year over year. There's a lot of debate about that stat. I hear people talk about how at one point we needed 800,000, 900,000 listings, and we would have like price crashes. So we're there at that mark. We're at 800,000, we're almost at 900,000. And I think a lot of people are still waiting for the crash nationally, right? There are areas where prices are going down, no doubt. Florida, Texas, they're going down. Certain areas of Florida and Texas, I'll say. Certain areas are actually up. Months of supply, 3.2 months of supply. That's up a half a point 4 to 5 months of supply is considered a balanced market. We know that. So this is still not very good. It's still a seller's market overall. But at some point, we'll get to balanced. And then hopefully you can get to a buyer's market, right? At some point, maybe a buyer's market. There's some developments down here though that I thought were interesting. Share of homes off the market in 2 weeks, 44.9%, down from 47%. So I've been seeing this increase every week. It's nice to see it go down, meaning homes relatively are sitting on the market longer overall. If you look at all the market, all the listings. So that's good. A slower market makes it easier to make decisions. If you're a buyer, it gives you more opportunity. Even as a seller, it can be good. I mean, that may sound strange, but I flip homes and sell them. And sometimes it's stressful to me anyway, it is when you put it on the market and it's like a feeding frenzy. I mean, yeah, you may sell it for more and everything, but like getting just multiple offers and trying to deal with all that it's not fun usually. So, it's nice to see it maybe home sitting a little longer. So this is the other stat. Median days on market is now up a day. So we're in the spring home buying season, and now you've got median days on market actually increasing. That's good. Again, a little slower market would be nice. Share of homes sold above list price, 30%. That's down from 32%. So not as many homes selling overall. The share of homes selling above list price is down, which is good, right? Selling above list price is probably normal all the time, somewhat, but not like 50%. We don't want that. Share of homes with the price drop, 6.2%, up 1.9 points year over year. Average sale to list price ratio, 99.4%, up 0.1 points. So basically, and people mess this up all the time. This isn't like necessarily how much they listed it for and then what it sold for. It's the list price when it sold. So meaning if you listed a house at 100 grand and then you had a price drop to 90 grand, and then you got 90,000 for your house, that would be a sale to list price ratio of 100%. But if you look at the original list price, there's a difference there, right? So you dropped it by $10,000. So I would love to see the average sale to original list, because there's definitely going to be a difference there because there are price drops. Nonetheless, I guess the point of this stat is people aren't listing their house, or they aren't advertising their house with a price. And then when it sells, they're taking 80% of the value or 80% of their price. They're basically getting what they're asking, pretty much. There's not a lot of discounting going on, I'll tell you that. At least in my market in Columbus, there's not a lot of discounting. All right, metro level highlights. They use the top 50 most populous U.S. metros for these stats. Median sale price. You can really just copy and paste this week over week. Anaheim, West Palm Beach, Detroit, San Jose, and New Brunswick, New Jersey all saw the highest median sale price increase year over year. San Antonio, Texas, down 1.9%, declined in just one metro. Median sale price declined in just one metro out of the top 50 most populous metros. Pending sales rose the most in San Jose, Anaheim, Oakland, San Francisco, and Seattle. Wow. It's a California party, right? With pending sales. Pending sales down the most in Phoenix, Atlanta, Houston, Jacksonville, and Orlando. So let's go down. Okay, so pending sales increased in 15 metros of the top 50. San Jose. Okay, so now we do new listings. San Jose up 35%, Phoenix 25%, Seattle 22%, San Diego, Oakland 21% each, basically, for new listings. So I'm looking here, I'm trying to find one that's common. Like pending sales are up 21% in San Jose. New listings are up 35% in San Jose. And median sale price is up 13% in San Jose. So I'd love to know, if you live in San Jose, what's happening there. It seems like there's an explosion of new listings because they're on the list a lot. Pending sales are up a lot, so people are buying, but and prices are up. So it seems like a hot market, like a lot of listings, a lot of activity, and or more activity, more listings, and higher prices. New listings declined in just 6 metros. They declined in Chicago, Newark, Warren, Michigan, Atlanta, Detroit, and Providence, Rhode Island. Hmm. Yeah, I guess so. Newark, New Jersey is down 4% in new listings. And then if you look at median sale price, this is New Brunswick, New Jersey. My fault. That's up 12.8%. I thought it said Newark. My bad. All right. So let's do the charts. Chart time. Fun charts. Yeah, median sales price. Look at this. Just up, 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 away it goes. So now we eclipsed not only last year, but we eclipsed the year before too. I know that um, I've watched videos of people talking about how, you know, anybody who bought after basically 2022 is doomed. Um, I mean, the prices are higher nationally. The median price, obviously, it's localized, but median sale price is higher than it was in 2022 now when we set a record. So it's not, it doesn't seem like it's sustainable. You know, you like logic tells you, or like your instinct probably tells you that, man, this can't be sustainable. But when you aren't turning inventory and houses that are good, priced well in good areas that are not destroyed, they don't need 100 grand in work. They are selling, and a lot of times, my prediction is a lot of those are selling over asking, or they're selling at least asking, and then that's what I'm seeing in my market is they're just homes that are dialed in are selling. I think a big reason for that is that people, and tell me what you guys think, but a lot of people they don't have the funds now, and they don't want to borrow the money at a 9% rate, you know, for like a home equity loan to like do the repairs. Um, and so because I think, and I this is probably an issue in real estate in general, as liquidity gets strained, you're going to see maybe higher prices because people are still wanting to move in using a loan to move into a house that's ready to go. They're not looking for the house that needs the 100,000 in work to, you know, make it livable. And investors are struggling, I think, a lot of times now to put money together to do the repairs. So those houses with repairs that were selling like hand over fist a couple years ago because money was so cheap, now they're struggling to sell or buy those because they're like, well, I have to be strategic with my liquidity. I think that's what's happening with me personally in my investing is you know, if a house needs 100 grand in work and you've got to spend 150,000 on it or 200 grand to buy the house plus 150 on repairs, that's a lot of money to put out. Right. And if you're borrowing the money as an investor, you're talking, you know, 11, 12% interest rates for hard money to borrow something. Um, but the people who have cash are definitely still doing deals. There are people with buckets of cash. Anyway, that's median sales price. Median asking price. Median asking price. It's not a psychic. It's not medium. Asking price 6.5% year over year increase. $419,000. Crazy, right? People, I think, more expensive houses are definitely hitting the market. Inventory in Central Ohio is up. When I last looked at it, it was up 4%. Only 4% for houses priced under the median. For houses priced over the median was up 17% year to date in inventory. So it's not just that the expensive houses are outselling the lower price houses, it's that there aren't any lower price houses that are good to buy. So because of that, obviously higher price houses are taking the share of sales. Home buyer housing payments up 14%. We know that. Crazy. $2,894. Pending sales down 3% year over year. It's going up, I guess, but it's still really bad. I mean, there's not a lot of activity, you know? There's not. The market's kinda just gridlocked. New listings of homes up 9% year over year. Now they touted this at the beginning saying that, "Oh, it's actually, even though it is up 9% year over year, it's the lowest growth, you know, it's compared to other periods." However, they said that at the beginning. It was just kind of, fodder, but it is up. We do have more new listings. Average active listings for sale. It's going up. It's not going up straight up. It's kind of just, maybe increasing at a moderate rate. Maybe that's good. We definitely need more inventory. And I don't think 900,000 units is going to do it. I don't think we're going to see a crash after 900,000 units. Um, because we had a lot more of that before the pandemic, and house prices were still going up then. So, like before the pandemic, values were still going up, not a crazy rate, but like a normal rate, right? 5%, 4% a year. So you look at it and go, well, if we get back to pre-pandemic levels of 1.2 million units or whatever we had, okay, I think maybe we just keep a normal market going. It's not a crash market. If you spike to 3 million units, yeah, well, then there's going to be price problems. 3.2 months of supply available on the market. It's going down. That's not good. You want to see that up. And this tells me that there are people out there still buying, obviously, right? Excuse me. Gotta plug the laptop in. I think people are still buying because if they weren't, this would just go up like a rocket because this measures how long our current inventory will last with our current sales. So people are still buying. 45% of pending sales under contract within 2 weeks. Yeah, definitely better than it has been, no doubt. A more healthy market. Home sales in a median, home sold in a median of 34 days. Yeah, it looks like it's getting ready to it's actually higher than it has been in the previous 4 years. And looks like it may really, maybe it'll start leveling off and going up. So home sitting a little longer isn't a bad thing. By the way, if you want to find a deal in your market, in your neighborhood, in your subdivision, in your city, in your target zip code, whatever, watch that days on market. Watch it. You can go into Redfin's data and pull it weekly or monthly down to the county. You can pull it monthly down to the zip code. And there's ways to monitor it, almost daily if you really want to. But if you monitor those days on market, that's like a good signal of the market going in a direction for buyers versus sellers. If those days on market increase, then that's a good thing. 30% of homes sold above final list price. All right. Well, that's better than it has been, even though it's still 30% are selling above list price. It'd be nice if these charts went back to like 2017. 6.2% of listings have price drops. Yeah. A lot of people are cutting their prices. Um, but obviously, the final sale price is almost the exact same price as the listing price. Average home sold for 99.4% of final list price. So again, they could have had a price drop, but once they drop it, sellers are getting basically what they're asking. All right. Redfin home buyer demand index. I don't really put much stock into this thing, but whatever. Down 12% year over year. Um, yeah, demand is definitely down compared to last year and the year before and the year before and the year before that. All right. So that was the national perspective. I'm just going to jump into the Columbus, Central Ohio data now. First, let me check and see if there's any. All right. So for the Columbus data, I'm using it's their downloadable housing market data from Redfin. And over here, you can go to Metro and then I'll type in Columbus. So this encompasses all of Central Ohio. They use the Columbus MLS, is what I assume, and that includes like Franklin County, Licking County, Delaware County, Fairfield County. Um, and I think there's some other counties in there too, but those are the major counties it includes. All right, so let's start with, well, we're on median sale price, so we'll do that. So median sale price in Central Ohio, no surprise here. Whoops, it clicked me out of it. Let's try it again. All right, here we go. Median sale price in Columbus, 341. That ties the record set back last year for 341. So $341,000. This shows no sign of slowing down. We are up. I guess maybe it is slowing down slightly because we are up just 3% year over year. We were up 5%. And then earlier in the year, we were up 9% year over year. So maybe this will start to moderate. Doesn't seem like it's going to with the activity in the market, but and the lack of activity, I guess, and the fact that Intel has exploded demand and excitement about the housing market. So $341,000 median sale price in Central Ohio. Look way back down. When's this? 2021. Look at that. 271 back in 2021. $271,000. Wacky. Just wacky that it went up like that. Man. All right, let's look at new listings. Oh, right up here at the top. New listings. Pathetic. Only up 1.3% in new listings. Not great. Just not great at all. Just don't have any inventory. All right, let's do active listings. Up 9.98% active listings, 4,750. But like I said, if you look behind that data, if you really dive into it, then you can see that affordable houses are only up, 4% or so. But houses priced over the median, they're up, double digits. So I just because we're up 9% doesn't really tell me much, unfortunately, if you're actually out there looking for property. But I guess overall, it is good to have more inventory. Let's look at solds, pending sales. All right, pending sales. Year over year up 4.7%. But definitely not explosive growth, but more than last year. So there's some hope there, I suppose, for the people in the business. Homes sold. This is starting to go up because pending sales are going up. So you would think this would eventually go up, and it is. We're up a total of 0.8% versus last year. So it's still a very deadlocked market overall. Little improvement, but not a lot. Not a lot at all. Let's look at months of supply. And they use weeks to look at this. So this is 9.5 weeks. Year over year, we're up 1.1 weeks of supply. But you can see, and that's not surprising, right? Like it's just kind of stagnant and steady. So yeah, it's we look at this every week, and so the changes are incremental, but no doubt that there's just not a lot of turnover, not a lot of people selling their houses, and not a lot of people because of that, there's not a lot of inventory of good homes that are affordable. So people are still on the sideline. Man. Now I've got let me see if there's anybody had any questions. Last week I had a lot of questions. This week I don't have any. That's okay. I've got other things to show. Any questions at all? Any comments? No? All right. I'm going to show this too. So I emailed somebody at Redfin to take a look at this data because, oops, sorry, wrong screen. Because if you scroll down on their page here, you can see the monthly housing data. And this is what I noticed. This was kind of shocking, actually. I don't know if you guys have ever been here or not, But if I go to the median sale price for monthly data and I just look at national data, this ends in March of 24, right? Because it's only monthly data. So they don't have the April value in here yet. But look at this number, $420,000 for the median sale price for March of 2024. Not 384,000, 420,000. And the peak was 432,000. And when I emailed Redfin and asked them what's up with this, like, look at this 420. Now we go back to this, which is the weekly charts, and the median sale price is 384 and some change. So how is this different from this information? Like, what's the deal here? What I was told is actually pretty cool. Chen Zhao, he's always in these articles. He actually emailed me back, pretty helpful, and explained that um, they use there's different metros captured weekly because of the timing of the data versus the national picture, which is all the metros captured. That's what he explained. Also explained that if you're looking for the solid data, or I guess the most reliable information, he suggested using the monthly data, not the weekly data. He said the weekly data is good to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on, is in real time as much as possible. But the monthly data gives you a better picture of the real story or the real data, however you want to look at that. And maybe because they have to, get out any errors or any, maybe there's markets that they can't get the weekly data for. I've emailed them some more questions, but I just thought that was interesting because maybe you guys have noticed this. I haven't heard many people talk about it, but there's definitely a difference in the monthly chart versus the weekly chart. And here's another thing. Look at the inventory or active listings. Look at these active listings for national. All homes for sale, active listings, 1,521,000. I had to check this like 3 times. I'm like, is that right? Like, active listings, homes for sale, 1,521,000. Now this is all residential. So maybe, if I just click single family residential, now it's 1,123,000. So now here's inventory, all homes for sale. This is different as well. Look at this, 980,000. So, active listings though could include pending listings, not pending, contingent listings. So here in Columbus, for instance, um, when you download the data from the MLS, it'll say all active listings, and those include properties, not pending properties, but it includes contingent properties. So properties that have a contingency for the sale, like an appraisal, which most houses do, or financing, or inspection, which is normal. Pending in Columbus means it's cash. It's a cash sale. There are no contingencies. So my point of that is the inventory here could be, when they say active listings, it includes contingent properties, but the actual inventory of homes actually available to purchase is 980,000. But that's still different from the 800 and some thousand listings that were shown in the weekly chart. Anyway, it is a difference there. So I thought that was kind of something to bring up. Some definitely differences in the data. But is the median sale price really $420,000? I mean, that's shocking because I thought it was 384 according to Redfin, but now I'm looking at this, it's 420. But anyway, I'm waiting for some more information from Chen, but hey, it was nice to see him respond, and he responded quickly within like minutes. So that was pretty cool. All right, so let's see. Oh, hey, Mr. Steve Hamrick. I know this guy. How you doing, Steve? Good to hear from you. What is your opinion when this will calm down? Those prices are nuts. Yeah, so I don't think, honestly, I don't think, if as far as Central Ohio goes, well, all I can speak of as far as what's going to happen probably in the near future with Intel coming in Central Ohio, and what I'm noticing is about everybody I talk to who wants to sell a property or has one to sell is they understand that Intel's here and they understand that the demand is growing, and so they're using that as a reason to price their home higher. Um, my point is that I think the frenzy of that is going to keep going for a while, and as more people move into the area, unless they start building more homes, more affordable homes, I don't see it changing. I really don't think it'll change. I think it's going to keep going up unless there was some kind of cataclysmic financial disaster. But with the amount of development and people wanting to move to Columbus because it is affordable, I think it's somewhat insulated and I think it'll keep going up, unfortunately. And it's sad because there's a lot of people who need houses, who have good credit, good income, good assets, but they can't find anything that makes sense. So those people exist, and it's a sad situation. I wish it was easier to buy a house just for the average everyday person. So yeah, good question, Steve. I don't know if it'll ever. I mean, obviously real estate's going to go down at some point, right? If you look at a long enough timeline, but in the next few years anyway, I think we're going to struggle. We're on the struggle bus big time, I believe. Um, yeah. So thanks for your question, man. Oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate that, Steve. We already showed that. All right. So before I end this, one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is that I have put together a free template that you can download if you're looking to find out if you want to find out if a deal is good or not. If you want to analyze an opportunity to find out if you could rent out a property in the future and it would actually cash flow. And let's say you're looking at a house and you're like, well, I want to buy this house for my family to live in, but if something happens to my job, I'd like to sell it, maybe, or I want to keep it and be a landlord. I have a template that you can use to put together to find out, hey, will this cash flow or not? The template also will do the same thing for a flip. So if you want to understand, hey, is that opportunity a good flip? You can use the template and then track your deals too. That's another tab on the file that you can use to track all your deals and the houses you look at, even if you're walking them with an agent to, remember what you looked at, look at the price, the how much it could rent for, if you flipped it, how much you could flip it for, that type of information. And there's spreadsheets that I use all the time. They're in Google Sheets, and the link it'll be in my description below. And I also did a video on how to use the analysis on how to do it. And I just launched that a couple days ago. So that's on my channel. Anyway, that's what I had today. Redfin update. Thanks for watching now or in the future if you happen to watch the recording. Crazy stuff. Prices up again, payments up again, asking prices up again. It just doesn't stop. All right. Hey, have a good day. We'll see you on the next Redfin update.